Hi everybody, it's Ryan from Ryviews.com. It's time for another RyCast. I've decided to stop counting. I don't know what number it is anyway, so congratulations, it's just a new RyCast with no number behind it to explain itself. This time it's going to be talking about Star Wars. I've had the good fortune of seeing The Force Awakens twice, and in a recent video I promised that my YouTube page was free of Star Wars, so if you don't like Star Wars, feel free to turn off this video right away. I will no longer be keeping that promise. This video is about Star Wars, so be prepared, you've been warned, and so forth. I loved The Force Awakens. I thought it was a very good movie. And I was kind of disheartened to see some of the criticisms of it. And, you know, if you've read my rebuttal, you'll know my direct comments to some of those criticisms. But I must say, I think people get too attached to old movies and believe what they want to believe about how good or bad they actually were, which I find kind of frustrating. The original trilogy, while a pretty cool cinematic feat and certainly good for its time, is pretty goofy and stupid. The writing and acting are not very good. There's really cheap special effects all over the place, and some people say practicality is good. But I saw people on the internet complain that Maz was not animatronic. She would have looked terrible if she was animatronic. I love the fact that she looked real. And I apologize to people who think that that's a problem. But in my mind, that's a good thing. Lots of old theatrical release style Star Wars creatures and aliens looked terrible. The whole reason Yoda was able to be a puppet was because Dagobah was dark as hell. When they were on Coruscant, in episode 1, when he was first a puppet, he would have been like he looked horrible. It was probably a better puppet than it was in episode 5 and 6, but it looked god-awful because it was in good lighting, and better film, probably. Episode 2 was immensely better because he was no longer animatronic. He was CGI. He looked much better. And quite frankly, 10 years later, it still looks good. I know people say it's not going to age very well, but we're reaching kind of a plateau as far as CGI making a difference. You look at Jurassic Park. Some of those dinosaurs look kind of bad. Some of them look pretty good. Depends on the lighting for the most part. Same thing's going to be true for Star Wars. Some things are not going to age very well, but still the prequels, quite frankly, look pretty good. There are obviously always going to be exceptions, but most, by and large, it looks damn good. Now, I will say that the biggest complaint that I agree with for Force Awakens was that the plot was too similar to Episode 4. But as I mentioned in my rebuttal, and as I feel very strongly about, people were freaking asking for that. They kept saying, I want to return to the originals. I hate the prequels. Make it the originals again. Make it as good. And basically, J.J. Abrams, in my opinion, just said, okay, I'll make the same movie. And people are eating it up. It's now the highest grossing domestic box office film of all time. So it worked. And, quite frankly, parallelism has been a big thing in this universe already. You look at all the parallels between Anakin and Luke, parallels between various other items. If you watch the shows where everyone, and the shows being Clone Wars, Rebels, where everyone on those and the movies says, I have a bad feeling about this. Various other running gags and or problems that arise. Lots of parallelism, lots of same-itude in this big galaxy. So, really, when you look at that and the fact that Kylo Ren is trying to act like Darth Vader, having a lot of the same plot points really kind of makes sense. And the differences are where it shines through. That's the whole point of watching like a remake ever. And this wasn't even technically a remake, but if you look at it as a remake, it was a pretty damn good remake. So, strictly speaking, I'm perfectly fine with that. And I guess I just want to close with saying that people shouldn't be so damn picky. Okay? Star Wars is still going to be a fantastic movie, regardless of what nitpicks you find in it. It was a really fun adventure. It was fun to watch. I went in very excited and I left very excited. Okay? The movie kept me entertained and I enjoyed myself throughout. When I left the theater, I felt good about myself and I had a good time. And now I'm reading through a bunch of Star Wars novels. So not only was it enjoyable, but it's also selling billions of dollars in tickets and probably billions of dollars in merchandise. So hooray, Disney. Thanks for listening, everybody. Visit www.ryviews.com for more content and don't forget to subscribe. And feel free to yell at me or agree with me, whatever you want to do in the comments. Just try to refrain from being too mean because I'm a fragile person. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.